The Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon is proudly brought to you by Hansa Pilsner. It's early morning below Knutsford as we get ready for the start of day 2 of the Hansa Fish, and this race starts in a reversed order format. So the back markers and the slower paddlers all get off early, and then the reversed order starts at 10:30 for the elite paddlers. It's going to be hot today. It's going to be the hottest place in the country today, actually, and the racing on the water is going to match that. It's going to be a blinder of a race as far as the men is concerned. Race hard in the first third, manage the weirs in the middle, and then whoever gets to Craddock Weir first guns it for the line. As for the ladies' race, it could be a day who's going to take the bigger risks. That could pay handsome dividends and get somebody onto the podium. So really enjoying their moment in the limelight. The slower paddlers get to start first on the day, 6:40 on what was going to be a hot and sunny Karoo day. The first of the slower batches sets off from the start just below Knutsford.
Wow, what a wedding anniversary. He's been building this up. He even bought me a spare paddle as my anniversary gift. I mean, what more could a girl ask for?
My partner at the back here, he's big, he's heavy, he's strong, like a diesel engine in the back.
If I were a bachelor's boy, and if I were to marry, I would marry a paddler's daughter more than any other. Cause I would stroke, and she would stroke, and we would stroke together. Wake up in the morning, stroking on another in the morning, in the morning, in the morning, by the sea, by the sea.
Always fantastic gears at the Hansa Fish as the paddlers psych themselves up for the new obstacle. This is the Baroda Chute, a brand new slide and then a left-hand kick with a sharp funnel of water, which is testing the paddlers, but luckily most of them got through unscathed. Then the day goes under 3 bridges before they head to the second of the 4 weirs. Day 2 characterized by those distinctive weirs. Gauging weir, once again asking questions of all the crews. Once they've dealt with gauging weir, Marlow Chute is next on the agenda. Now the paddlers know that they are about 12 kilometers away from the finish. 10:30 and back upriver at the start below Knutsford as the elite paddlers gear up for their elapsed time reverse order start. So much riding on Greg Lowe, but the 36 kilometers contains 4 distinctive weirs, 1 at the beginning and 3 in the final 10 kilometers. The rest is great marathon racing, obstacles that are not too testing, minor rapids, flat out racing into the sports field at Craddock. And all eyes on this man.
It's a pressure that you don't make a mistake because everyone's watching you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully have a good day and a good paddle.
So at the front of that elapsed time start, world number 1 and world number 2, Hank McGregor and Andy Burkett, side by side to wrestle over the home of the 26 Hansa Fish River K1 title. And into this brand new obstacle, Hank McGregor happy to let Andy Burkett go down the new Baroda Chute first. Hank on board now. As we follow them down, Andy has a great line. Hank goes slightly left, drops over the shelf, but both get away clean. A lot of excitement. Here's local boy Greg Lowe, who was one of the first to try out this brand new chute, and he's been giving a lot of people tips about exactly where to go. Follows his own advice to a T. He gets away clean. Then there's some key marathon racing until you get to gauging weir. Again, Hank McGregor happy to let Andy Burkett show him the lines and tuck in discreetly behind him, and both get away from gauging weir clean. The racing continues now. We're into the closing quarter. Greg Lowe, he's having a long, lonely day on his own. Try as he might, he's not making any headway on the two who are working together. Now Hank McGregor and Andy Burkett approach the outskirts of Craddock and the Marlow School. The portage around the Marlow low-level courseway is the last chance to stretch their legs before the dice into the finish at the Craddock Sports Field. And these two juggernauts of the current world canoeing setup are still side by side. Hank tries to get away, probing for an opportunity to show some space between himself and Andy Burkett, but it doesn't work out. Suddenly they're getting closer and closer to the Marlow Causeway, and this time it's McGregor who's doing the chasing, but Burkett is just on his inside. The two could be going down side by side. Burkett slightly ahead, McGregor tucks in on his right, and the two get through the stoppaway unscathed. So 3 out of the 4 weirs safely accomplished. Greg Lowe behind them, still all on his own. He's done this 1,000 times, no issues at all. He thoroughly enjoys it. But now the gap is about 3 minutes. It's just the two to contest the title as they approach the ultimate obstacle, the defining weir, Craddock Weir. The rules are simple. The first boat there can shoot it wherever they like. The following boat is responsible for any collisions and so has to take care. It's Hank McGregor up front. He slides right over, spot on the apex, lands it and gets away. Andy Burkett takes a bit of a steeper line. His nose stands up. Suddenly Hank McGregor has got a bit of a lead. Andy Burkett is playing catch-up. There's just 3 kilometers to the finish. And the massive crowd that always gathers there is cheering on these two giants of world canoeing. There's an equally huge crowd at the finish at the sports field in Craddock. Everybody craning upriver as they see these two charging. Hank McGregor and Andy Burkett both pull the trigger together. But this is Hank McGregor's deadly end sprint, and he raises a clenched fist to claim the 2016 title and retain the K1 crown that he won here 2 years ago. The crowd is also on its feet as Greg Lowe, who has been man alone all day, soldiers home in third. He claims the last step on the podium. Proud to be on a podium alongside these two giants.
It's just a cherry on the top after coming back from a big season of the World Champs, and to come back to one of the biggest races, if not the biggest race in the country, and pull it off. Really happy.
Yeah, I really enjoy close racing. It always makes it more exciting and a lot more enjoyable. And to race alongside someone like Hank, who's the best in the world at the moment, makes it even more special. There was great sportsmanship out there today, and fair racing. He was the better man on the day, so I enjoyed it.
So at the end of a thrilling race, the big mover on the final stage was Andrew Houston. He leapt up to fourth. Jacob Adam taking advantage of Jasper Mocker, and Sponello Quella getting his first top 10 finish at the Fish. Meanwhile, back at Knutsford, it's all eyes on the ladies' race.
Abby Adey has been in a league of her own, being both a strong paddler and on top of her game with her river skills. But the rest of the field, it's been like looking around in the ladies' batch yesterday. It's very encouraging to see such depth of strength and so many ladies paddlers taking on the rivers. It's very exciting to see.
All eyes on Abby Solms as she gears up for the final stage, starting where she finished the race in a lapse time, so she's got two males around her. These guys will be able to show her the lines down the brand new chute at Baroda, but she goes second into the chute. She's proven to be so solid in the boat during the course of this race. Calm, composed, unflustered, and she gets away clean and actually ahead of the guy she went into it with. Meanwhile, here's Bridget Hartley. She's been so quick on the water, but she's just got to keep her act together when it comes to the rough water, and she has another swim. She will be pulling her hair out in frustration here because all the hard work she does on the flats is being undone by these swims. Behind her, Jenna Ward comes into the Baroda chute, into the drop below. She's away clean. Now, of course, she's got Bridget Hartley in her sights ahead of her. Back up front, Abby Solms comes into gauging weir into the final third of the race. She takes the left-hand line, slices through there with absolutely no problem. Here's Bridget Hartley in catch-up mode now after her swim at Baroda. She almost gets it wrong. The boat gets thrown to the right, but she manages to keep her balance. Still frustrating. Jenna Ward behind her is busy playing fox in the hare with her. She goes down the left-hand line as well. Jen has become so comfortable in the rough water conditions in river marathon racing, still desperately trying to close in on Bridget Hartley. Fast forward downriver now to the Marlow Causeway. Here's Abby Solms. Super reliable. Gets those paddle strokes going as she hits the stopper wave. Here's Bridget Hartley in second playing catch up. She hits the stopper wave and loses all her forward momentum. Keeps it together. Well done, Bridge. But she'll be frustrated that she couldn't pull it off like Abby, who ahead of her has now earned the right to portage at Craddock Weir. It's the first time she's gone for a safety first option, but her lead was so big that she could afford to do it, and almost reinforcing that, Bridget Hartley has decided to do exactly the same portage. Abby Solms gets away to a huge cheer from the crowd and heads off down to the finish. Bridget Hartley is just behind her. She will have put in. The crowd giving Bridget a big cheer. The Olympic golden girl who's really transitioning her sprint season into her marathoning river season, and she's fallen out just a few meters after her put in. Wow, the frustration that Bridget must be experiencing here must be absolutely enormous. But here's Robin Owen on her return to river paddling. Oh, and she's taken a very straight line and swum. Now, where's Jenna Ward? Jenna's chasing her and she cannot fall on top of her. Jenna's taken a really edgy line and managed to escape falling on top of Robin and managed to get away clean. So, Robin now out of the top three. Jenna Ward can home in on the finish. But up front, the crowd cheers as Abby Solms successfully defends her title from the Kampsdrift-based star.
Very tough. I didn't expect to come out with such a big lead, and couldn't ask for a better 2 days. So it was absolutely brilliant, flawless racing, and yeah, made the decision at the end here to Portage. Craddock wasn't too happy about it, but you know, you're so close to the end, rather play it safe and secure the win.
Congratulations. Second place going to Bridget Hartley. Gutsy finish to a tough race. So, at the end of an absolutely riveting women's race, the crowd has lapped up every bit of it. In fact, the general consensus being that as a spectacle, the ladies' race has perhaps outshadowed the men. But Psalms takes it from Hartley, and then the top 5 regularly changing hands. But look at Christy McKenzie in 6th. That's a great result. For the backmarkers, day 2 is all about mastering those 4 weirs. It's downhill into Craddock, and these are the thrills and memories that they will take back on the long car journeys to wherever their homes are.
From day one, it's always lived up to the expectation, and we had a very nice race today, and I think everybody that came down the river, everybody's so forthcoming to each other. Another thing I also really liked to see was all the young bucks, girls and boys doing the short course, and that is very inspiring. So canoeing in general is still a very popular sport.
The Hansa Fish prides itself in the enormity and scope of its prize, giving good cash prizes across all the categories. But what a fantastic podium at the end of the women's race, and that men's podium featuring 5 world-class paddlers as well. For Hank McGregor, the Fish win wraps up a hectic season that included that double World Marathon Champ title. So as everybody winds their way back home, the memories of the 2016 Hansa Fish will linger long. Some will have bruises, some will just take home cherished memories to go with their medals. The Hansa Fish River Canoe Marathon was proudly brought to you by Hansa Pilsner.